Hello, everybody. So, tonight I will be talking about validation therapy. So, just a brief little overview of what I will be talking about. Validation, what it is it composed of, any other little details that need to be known about it, training for validation therapy, the states of dysfunction and function, the focus of the music therapy intervention, what the music therapist needs to do and how the intervention will work, and then finally any references that I found within this research. Excuse me. So what is validation therapy? Generally, validation therapy is a method of communicating with and helping disoriented elderly individuals. It is a practical way of working that helps reduce someone's stress, enhance their dignity, as well as increase happiness. Validation therapy generally works with individuals who are often diagnosed with having Alzheimer's disease or dementia, and these individuals are in the final stages of their lives and are trying to resolve any unfinished issues to die in peace. Validation therapy is basically built on an empathetic attitude and a holistic view of individuals, yet in which one can metaphorically step into the shoes of another human being and see through their eyes, as well as step into the world of disoriented older individuals. And it should be noted that this may include understanding the meanings of their unusual behaviors from time to time. And basically, validation therapy wouldn't be possible if it weren't for Naomi Feil. And between 1963 and 1980, she went through all this research, all these different processes, and she eventually established this great thing that we know now as validation therapy to help so many people and just, like I said previously, help them come to peace prior to meeting the face of God. So some components of validation therapy. I shouldn't say therapy, but validation is a theory that very old individuals struggle to resolve unfinished life issues prior to their death. And this behavior is very so age specific, and these movements reflect human needs. Validation is based on a basic empathetic attitude that yet respects as well as values older individuals without any judgment. And finally, validation includes specific techniques for older individuals, as I said in the previous slides, as well as group work that is based on the needs of the individual and his or her phase of resolution. It's very important to know that everybody can't just do validation therapy, that there's some coursework that needs to be completed as well as some training. And there's 3 different levels of validation training. So the first one we have is level 1 validation worker, and these courses consist of 5 2-day blocks of training, total of 10 days, that are spaced over 9 months. And that is the most basic, the general, starting from the beginning that you can have for validation therapy. Next, there's level 2 validation group leader, and these courses consist of 3 2-day blocks of training over the course of 6 days, and these are spaced over 6 to 9 months. Level 1 certification is a prerequisite for this course. You had to have taken the previous. Participants do clinical practice of group validation methods in between lesson blocks, and supervision days are organized between each lesson block. Finally, the most advanced you can have is level 3 validation teacher, and these courses consist of 2 blocks of training, 3 days plus an additional 2 days in there. Level 1 and 2 certification are prerequisites for this course, so you gotta take the first 2. No and ifs or buts. Each participant creates his or her own personalized program for the development of needed skills with the guidance from the instructor of this course. So kind of a little self-reflection in there. Oh, and it should also be mentioned, if anybody were interested in taking validation courses, the nearest ones to us right now, level 1, it's in Colorado Springs, so it's not right next door. But level 2 group worker courses are offered in Maplewood, Minnesota. So that's something to think about. So the client that I chose for this framework was a 73-year-old man who is in the late stages of dementia. So I want to say it's not looking good, but it's towards the end, and we want to, like I said before, which I'll get more into later, wants to offer a sense of peace towards the end of life. So my state of dysfunction is that resident shuts out his surrounding world completely, gives up trying to resolve living, appears very distressed and distraught, can be very unresponsive, may just give head nods, may say some random words, and may be hard to communicate with at times. So what we want, the state of function, is that the client will find a greater sense of peace in their everyday life, maybe show happiness, give a smile. I'll get more into that later, but just come to an acceptance of peace in their everyday life. So I had two focuses of the intervention, and that is that the client will make eye contact with the music therapist 2 times during the session for a total of 3 consecutive sessions, and the client will sit up straight, have good posture 3 times during the session for 2 consecutive sessions. It's very hard with a client late stages of dementia that he or she can do. So I don't want to break it down to a simple sense, but maybe just making eye contact and sitting up straight can lead to better results that the music therapist can work with. And I'll get into that with the intervention and a possibility for that. So the music therapist decided, based on the client's assessment, and the music therapist happened to find that this client was a big Johnny Cash fan. So the music therapist chose the song I Walk the Line by Mr. Cash himself. So the music therapist will be sitting right across from the client if he is in a chair or bedside, depending. And they may begin by saying something such as, "Hey, so I heard you're a big Johnny Cash fan, or you're a Johnny Cash kind of guy." I'm sorry. As that may spark something with the client and grab his attention. I didn't put it in here, but the music therapist should probably use a guitar as the accompanying instrument. They may use a piano, but yet that may drown out the sound and get the client distracted. So the music therapist will sing through the song twice, maybe more depending on the state of the client, while making appropriate eye contact with the client. And it's very hard to realize that the client might not sing along as he is in the late stages of dementia, yet hearing these lyrics and hearing that it is a Johnny Cash piece, this may trigger something for the best and stimulate him and to sit up as well as make eye contact, as that is the goal of this. So just in general, some other results that come from validation therapy that may be brought throughout this gentleman is that, as I said before, they may sit up more erect, keep their eyes open more, display the possibility of displaying more social controls, maybe less anger and anxiety through everyday life as they want to come to a sense of peace in these late stages. And experience an improved sense of self-worth, realizing that everything is all good. And one of the biggest things to me is a sense of humor is often restored, and that's what I wish, as everybody needs to laugh. As I heard that at a very young age, that you should laugh once a day, no matter if it's at yourself or somebody else or a joke or something just so silly and dumb, but just everybody needs to have a laugh, and that's what I think this framework can help do. So I think we're at the end. Yep, here are my references, and that is the second framework. So I wish you guys the best on a great rest of the week. So see you soon.